Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction, haunted entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we're returning, once again, this is a bit weird, because normally our Divisible by 4 episodes become a news episode.
Right.
But this time around, it is not, because the HAuNTcon recap seemed way more important than talking about January news.
Because there's not a lot of it.
Not a lot of it. We always struggle this time of year. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait to 2/20 to do the news again.
Right.
And just cover an additional month. It'll make it easier to find stories. But yes, we're doing the HauNTcon 2020 recap. HauNTcon is in the books. And we are some tired puppies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even pretend because, long story short, we have been building on our haunt for the past almost a month and a half or so, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Much longer than that. Not getting a lot of sleep doing that. And then we had events Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today, Monday, as we're recording this and putting this out. And we've not slept much those nights either, and we haven't been helped by the chorus of beep, beep, beeps of the road work.
No, not at all.
So, long story short, we are very, very tired puppies. We are bloated from the alcohol and heavy food. I need to abstain from alcohol for a month and eat nothing but like grilled chicken or something. I don't know. I need to make a change here after this because I may die.
Yeah.
But definitely feel free to follow along on how we recover from HauNTcon. If you're interested in additional content, we're at HauntWeekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, you'll find us there. Now, before we kick into the conference reminders, it is time before we kick into the HauNTcon recap, it's time for your conference reminders. And on that note, I will take things away. Well, with HauNTcon in the books, the next item up for bid is HauntX, the Haunters DIY Expo, February 21st to the 23rd in Pomona, California at the Fairplex. They'll be touring Asylum Haunted House, lights on and off, and it features a costume ball. HauntX.com for more info.
Okay, after that, March 19th through the 22nd, it's Transworld's Halloween and Attraction Show in St. Louis, Missouri. It'll be at the America Center, co-located with Transworld's Christmas Show and the Escape Room Show. Darkness and Limp Brewery behind-the-scenes tours will be going on. Features a party at City Museum on Thursday, a performance by the Vampire Circus on Friday, and a werewolf ball on Saturday. HAUNTshow.com for more info.
Then coming up May 15th through the 17th, it's West Coast Haunters Convention in Portland, Oregon at the Doubletree Hotel, Portland. We'll be touring Fear Haunted House. Also includes a costume ball, a silent auction, and the Nightmare After West Coast Haunters Convention Film Festival with a secret selection of films. HauntersConvention.com is where you get all the details.
And May 15th through 17th also, it's Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. Features a ghost hunt costume party, haunted house tours, and more info TBA. You can find out what it is when it is at ohiohhc.com.
And finally this week, June 5th through the 7th in Schaumburg, Illinois, it's the Midwest Haunters Convention at the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center Hotel. Tours are not still TBA. I keep meaning to update that and never do. But it features a costume party and a kids zone. MidwestHauntersConvention.com for more information. All right. So usually in this slot right here, lately what we've been doing is putting in a quick update on our haunt, because we've been kind of keeping you abreast of the work that's been going on. And the update there is the haunt is pretty much done.
Yeah. We, had a little bit of a surprise, but we had the HauNTcon Inspiration Tour come by.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but
yeah,
we'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, we had that on Thursday. But the long story short, other than maybe some additional detail, maybe patching a few things that we realizing are weak points after the test runs, all in all, it was a solid haunt. It went well. It looks really good. And I'm excited about opening it for real in October.
Yeah.
The other thing to update is the street. And the street is still jacked, but we do have sidewalks and driveways now.
Yeah.
They poured those, I think, Tuesday, like the day after this last episode went live. They came and poured everything. But, the driveways have limited use when you don't have a street.
Right. And it's still roped off, so you can't use them.
You can't really use them. I mean, the dirt road is like 6 inches below the sidewalk, you know what I mean? And where you would jump onto the curb. So it's not useful for anything. We can't park in our driveway. We just simply have a driveway. It is going to be so nice when we can. But yeah, all in all, it's the road work finally showed some progress just in time for the various bus tours.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it looks like we're probably going to have a completed street probably within a month or two. Which, I mean, that sounds crazy that that's a positive thing, but considering this whole goddamn thing's been going on since June.
Yeah.
But I really wish it would stop coming out at 7 a.m. every morning and making construction noises to spread more dirt on the ground.
Including holidays.
Yeah, including today, which was supposed to be a holiday. They were there at 7 a.m. This was our chance to sleep in.
Right.
This was our one chance in all of this to really sleep in, because tomorrow we're going to work.
Yeah.
This was our one shot to sleep in, and they fucking blew it for us, and I'm livid.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I mean, honestly, they could stop spreading dirt if they just paved it, because that's what keeps the dirt in.
Yeah, you would think that they would know that.
I think they do. I just don't think they're bothering, and I don't know what the deal is. But anyways, that's still going on. That drama's still going on. But the haunt itself is in a good place. Obviously, before we open for real, we have to put back together the queue line.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do the yard display. We got a lot of things that we still have to do for Halloween. But as far as the inside the haunt, the 5 rooms and the builds and the scares and most of the decoration and lighting, it's done. And right now with that haunt and where it is, we could theoretically open if we had the actors right now.
Yeah.
It's that easy. So, all in all, very, very happy with it. I'm not sure what... it's going to be interesting how this haunt season operates, because without us having to do this build, and that taking up the time and money that it normally does, who knows how we're going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, so HAuNTcon is in the books, as we said. It has been a very wild 4 days for us there. And we didn't really write notes on this. We've got a lot of the things we saw and did pulled up on our browser tabs here, so we don't have our usual formal set of notes. I think the easiest way is just to do it day by day.
Yeah, I agree.
Do it chronological order, day by day. What did we do? What did we see? What happened? And to that end, the very first day was Thursday. For us. Now, recall previously we had talked about how the HauNTcon bus tour reached out to us and wanted to stop by.
Yes.
And we did kind of a deliberately bad sales pitch because, we're happy to have them, but I don't want people coming to our haunt expecting something we're not.
Yeah.
I want people's expectations down half a notch, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't want people coming expecting the 13th gate and they get a garage with 5 rooms.
Right. That's one of the tricks we use for new customers is that we don't have the giant facade or anything. It just looks like a garage.
Yeah.
And that's intentional.
Yeah. We have found it really helps, A, confuse people.
Yes.
And B, set their expectations at a place we can trivially blow them out of the water.
Yeah.
They're going in expecting some kind of trash bag haunt and they're getting a pretty reasonably good build.
Yeah.
It blows some minds. But still, we're talking like, hey, guys, it's HauNTcon. We're only 5 rooms, and we're only this, we're that, and the road's torn up, it's going to be difficult for the buses. And they, much to my surprise, after we published last week's episode, said, yeah, we'd love to come by.
Yeah. So that happened.
And it was weird because you had to take off an hour for work. They said they were going to come by sometime around 9:30.
Right.
They were about 10 minutes late, but that's life. That happens.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because we got the alert from the email saying the buses were on the way.
Yeah.
And we were standing at the corner of our street waiting for the bus to appear. And eventually these two land whales come around the corner in the misty New Orleans morning.
Yes.
And take up the whole street as they're driving down it.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure those are the biggest vehicles to have been on that road in almost forever.
Yeah. Some of the construction equipment's big and heavy, but not that long. So that was
3D space consumed.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was definitely a level of intimidation I've not felt before. So.
Yeah, we both kind of had a moment of freak out there. I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing: the tour, everyone was lovely.
Yeah. Every
single person came through, shook our hand, told us we were great, thanked us for having them. It was an awesome experience, and we had a little chaos there. We had a struggle trying to get people broken up into groups so we could do the tour.
Right.
But we solved it. We sorted it. And once we got through it, everybody had a good time. They got the experience. They got to see everything we did, and it seemed like everyone was at least genuinely surprised, if not impressed.
Yeah.
At what we did in that tiny space.
Yeah, I think the comment I heard the most was, we got a lot of good ideas from coming here. Which I like.
That's one thing we're definitely not short on is ideas. Mm-hmm. So if you are short on ideas, we might not be a bad place to go.
Yeah.
It was it was such a positive experience. And you were having a rough day at work that day.
Yeah.
And so when you came back in a bad mood, and you left in a good mood where nothing could get you down.
Exactly.
And it was great. And it made the rest of the day and the rest, which of course we didn't go to work Friday, but everything else so much better.
It did. It totally did.
I felt it made everything better. I'm so happy with how that went. And it was so nerve-wracking because it had the potential to go so wrong.
It did.
I mean, because obviously this inspiration tour is not intended to go to tiny home haunts.
No, in fact, we learned that we are
the first and only
home haunt to be on the tour.
Yeah, that's a huge honor.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it.
No.
But it's a great thing to hear, and I'm really glad everyone had a good time. All in all, it was amazing, and like I said, definitely would do that again for other haunt tours if the opportunity became available.
Yeah.
So, with that in the books, we did meet some people Thursday night, I believe, didn't we? Or did we just wait for the conference?
I don't remember, honestly.
There's going to be a lot of I remember.
No, Thursday night we were still finishing the haunt.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's right.
A few things.
No, we were.
But we did. I think we did meet up with people.
No, we met up with people.
Yeah.
I can't remember where and for what at this exact microsecond.
Sorry.
But yeah, it was. Like I said, that was a very intense day for us. So yeah, we don't remember very well. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with anybody personally.
No.
But yeah, Thursday in the books. Thursday was a relatively tame day. Friday was the first actual day of the conference. Mm-hmm. And we actually made an effort to get there. Well, the conference actually didn't. It was kind of weird. The conference didn't start till late.
Right.
The trade show floor didn't really open until, I think, 11.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
It was kind of bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of bizarre for the reason of they were pushing back the opening time on Friday, but pushing back the closing time on Saturday, too.
Yeah.
So they were not opening it on Friday morning, delaying rope drop, so to speak, but making those vendors stay longer right before the costume ball on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Which created kind of we're going to get into that when we talk about Saturday. But Friday, classes, where did we end up?
Well, I wound up first going to the 1045 class on Haunt Marketing Revolution, 13 Killer Digital Marketing Tips, that was put on by Ernest Corder and Tyler Barnett of Fearworm. Mm-hmm. And there were some pretty good tips in there. And a lot of, like, big haunts could use, like getting cellular data and things like that. And creating an email list to integrate with Facebook, and creating a sample audience to also tell, your social media platforms, hey, look for people that look like these because we already know these people like us. So that was interesting.
My talk was Margit Kerr's perspective taking and the framing effect, ensuring guests what you want them to see. Margit Kerr, of course, sociologist, author of the book Scream, does a lot of great work in the haunt industry. Her talk was about how to frame things for your customers, and the information was actually really interesting and really useful, and sort of kind of blew up a lot of what I learned in marketing and advertising class. That degree I paid for.
Yeah.
But long story short, she kind of drove me a little bit nuts, though. Because she kept saying, I just want to be clear, this is not manipulation. This is not manipulation. Yeah, it is. Manipulation is not inherently evil.
Right.
It is not that manipulation is bad, not manipulation is good. It's how you use the manipulation. If you manipulate people to do good things, and if one of those things is to help them have a better time at your haunt, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it covered a wide variety of topics. Things such as, an obvious example is, do you say, this ticket is 15% off, or do you say it's 85% of the retail price?
Yeah.
And obviously, you're going to say it's 15% off. You focus on what they're getting for free rather than what they're paying. And that makes sense. But other questions, like, and this one I got wrong, was, is it better to offer a free, like when they have the surplus charges, like the surcharges,
right?
Like the credit card surcharge or the online surcharges. Is it better to give them a free surcharge or an equal amount off the ticket itself? And her argument was, and this is what her research indicates, that it's better to give the free surcharge because the amount's the same, and that makes the purchase simpler for the customer.
Yeah,
which I can get that. But if you're also requiring a surcharge that is significant enough that the discount matters, that's not a very good surcharge.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It was a good talk. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of useful information in there. I've got my notes typed up on it. I'm going to be going back over it probably over the next couple of weeks and thinking about things more specifically on it. But yeah, I mean, other than this is not manipulation, the repetition of that, when it obviously is manipulation, it was a good talk.
Yeah. Okay, after that, I went to Retaining Your Monsters When October Ends with Tiffany Yao. She is the talent director and a community engagement manager. A lot of good ideas here about how to stay engaged and how to keep in touch over multiple platforms throughout the year, but then tighten it down to one or two ways to get in contact with you when you're actually in the busy season. Also to make sure that you do a survey, put a survey out there so that your cast can actually rate your job.
Yeah.
How can you handle things better? How can you improve your interactions with them? And that was something that seemed really important and to strike me. That was the takeaway from that.
Yeah, and I went to Q-Line Acting With Great Power Comes Great Responsibility by Terry Rook and Margaret Blackburn. Terry is with Dent Schoolhouse.
Right.
And Maximus in that group.
Yes.
I was very interested in this class. I'm a Q-Line actor myself. Parts of the class, I think, were pretty self-explanatory. Like, there was time spent trying to understand why people want to be Q actors, why people envy those spots. I think most haunt actors instinctively know the reasons.
Right.
And most people involved in haunting do. I don't think that needed to be said. Maybe it did, though. Maybe I'm wrong on this, and it's very possible. But I did like the information about the traits that make it good. And he had a point that I really like, which is the first requirement of a Q-Line actor has to be someone that you trust.
Yeah.
If you don't trust them, it doesn't matter how good they are at it or all the other traits they have, they're not going to be a good Q-Line actor. You have to be able to trust them. And I like that. It was a valid point, and I did listen to that, and there was a lot of good tidbits there. And also he did some improv games, some like Whose Line Is It Anyway style improv games. That was fun. All in all, it was good. I think one of the problems, though, and this has been a general one, I've gone to a lot of different acting training and acting coaching courses at HauNtcon.
Right. I
think this might be something that doesn't really work well in our PowerPoint-based presentation format.
Yeah.
I would love to see this converted, like something like this converted into a workshop.
Yeah, one of the weekend workshops.
One of the weekend workshops where you can spend like 4 hours playing these games, understanding it, getting quick on your feet.
Right.
And really understanding how to apply this at your haunt.
Yeah, and I mean, the leadership and management training seminars that I've gone to with my job in the corporate world have always been multiple day and multiple hour.
Yeah. This is something really difficult to do in this format.
Yeah.
And I applaud them for trying. But yeah, it's really, really a tough amount of time, and it's not the right format, it's not the right time frame for it. The information was good, the people giving the talk were good. It's just, it's a real tough way to try to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I went to How to Be a Leader, Not Just a Manager with Peter Corbett. He is a theatrical manager at Terror Behind the Walls at Eastern State Penn. He was very energetic. He entertained the crowd and got everybody involved in it. We learned a lot about each other. There were some examples of things to do with your staff in order to get them pumped up and excited, and also to keep that energy going after the season ended.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting dude.
I went to an extremely packed house for Leonard Pickle's talk on cheap scares, maximum fright factor on a budget. I've got to be honest, I went to it because, like a lot of people, because I saw the word cheap scares.
Exactly.
And we're all eager for those cheap scares. And it ended up sort of, I wouldn't say overlapping too much with our talk, what we would do tomorrow, but it overlapped with but there was some overlap there, talking about the strategy and the tactics and the layout and the design of the haunt and thinking about your angles and so forth. And there was some good information on that front, like, scares tend to be stronger from the left because most people are right-handed, so their left side feels weaker.
Yeah.
That was something I had not actually contemplated before that talk.
No.
That was a pretty good takeaway. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean every scare comes from the left, but as we've noted, and as Leonard himself noted, what does that mean in terms of which scares do you put on left? Do you put the weaker scares on left to try to raise them up? Do you put your best scares in there to push them over the top? Or a mix? And what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do with that information?
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone really knows, because do you want the most consistent haunt? Do you want the haunt with the biggest pops here and there, and maybe some mixing?
Yeah.
I'm literally pulling my hair thinking about this. It raises so many good questions that I don't have answers to. But yeah, it was a good talk. It was very, very similar to another one of his I'd seen previously, but it was still very interesting, and I did enjoy a lot of the conversation about why certain scares work. And he also went into more about the different types of scares you can do in a haunt. So that was cool, too.
Yeah.
Well, Friday night was a big night for us.
Oh, we didn't finish Saturday. We both went to the 3:30 Women in Haunting.
No.
Oh, wait. We're on Friday. Yeah. Never mind. Sorry. I went to the wrong tab. Yeah, Friday night was a big night for us. Continue.
Yes. Because that was the night we did the get-together and Lights Off and Lights On tour for friends, and for anyone else who signed up. Thank you for everyone who did and came out. It was awesome having you. There was a bit of confusion, it seems, at the beginning. We said because we had like 40 people registered as going. Right. We ended up with about half that, which, mind you, is still a good number. I mean, realistically, if you'd asked me what I wanted out of that, I wanted about like 15 to 25-ish people I know from Haunt Chat, people, some newbies, a good mix,
Yeah.
Good mix of people I know and don't know, but we're all friendly, loving home haunters, especially, to come out. And that ended up being largely what it was. And so it was kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone got free refrigerator magnets.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes, that was
hand cast and hand painted by Crystal.
Yes, that was the the little gift that I made this year, since we had so many people.
It was nerve-wracking, because the last year we did this, the haunt had been open for season.
Right.
We'd had 3 nights, the actors knew their roles, they just had to jump in and crank it out.
Exactly.
This year, everyone was introduced to the role either 5 minutes before or the day before at the most.
Right, and that's because Thursday we had actors canceling us at like 11 p.m.
Yeah, we literally got a text while we're drinking at a bar Thursday night. Someone saying, "Yeah, I can't come," and he was actually playing a pretty key role. So we rotated people around and still covered all the slots.
Yeah.
Because luckily we were very savvy about how we build it. We build it so that we can have 12 people, pretty much.
Yeah. And
we only need 5.
Exactly. And we've done that
because
of this issue.
Because of the exact issue. We try to get 10 to come, typically, is what we try to shoot for. But we knew we weren't going to get 10 this time.
Right.
Because it's a weird time of year. We knew we weren't going to get 10 this time. But usually during season, we try to shoot for 10. And that way, if some guy brings his brother along who suddenly decides he wants to act in a haunt, we've got a spot for him. And, if someone bows out the last second, then we just rotate the roles. Some people get promotions, whatever.
Yeah.
We can shuffle people around. But all in all, the haunt seemed to work pretty well. I had a few queuing issues, but they were resolved by the second or third group, it seemed.
Yeah.
Everyone seemed, once again, very, very pleased with it. We did the lights off and the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone was impressed. Leonard Pickle actually came to both the Thursday show and the Friday show.
Yes.
He had seen since he had done the lights on Thursday, he didn't stay for the lights on Friday.
Right.
I get that. He had to get to the other event that was going on. They had a party at Loft whatever.
Yes.
I forgot where it was. We didn't make it to that.
Yeah, it was bowling and stuff.
It was bowling. It sounded like a lot of fun, but we didn't make it to that. Instead, we all went to Crown and Anchor.
Yes.
Bar near our house and drank, and I was expecting most people to leave after a drink or two so they could catch the ferry and go back across the river and do French Quarter stuff. And no one really left. Everyone just kind of hung out, and we were there.
We were there until 12:30. Most people left at about 11.
Yeah, most people left around 11. But we were there past midnight, and considering how tired we were, I'm amazed we were vertical at this juncture.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that and got to hang out with some awesome haunters. Honestly, and we're going to go into this in the wrap up, I'm sure, but like the thing about HauNTcon that I really do love and am going to miss is the social aspect.
Right, exactly.
It is super social and super, you can find a group of haunters like you.
Mm-hmm.
That do similar things to you. And that's great in that, A, you get to exchange war stories, but also you get to exchange ideas and things like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is something that I'm definitely going to miss.
Well, we finally went to sleep at a not reasonable hour at all.
Yes, especially not considering we had a talk the next day.
So we got up the next morning, and our plan originally was to come back from Crown and Anchor, do a walkthrough, and we were dead on our feet.
Yeah.
And that's like the lesson I've learned from this. I can drink a lot, and I can be very tired, but I can't be both.
Yeah, and I think that...
We were both.
Yeah.
We were both.
Yeah, I think building a haunt and getting ready for HauNTcon might be a little too much.
It might actually be. So we ended up going to bed, and we got up morning, and we ended up missing the morning presentations to do a run-through and a test of ours.
Right.
It went smooth on the run-through, and so we ended up getting there about an hour before our talk.
Right.
And our talk was basic scare tactics, scaring by design. I am blown away by the response to this.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm legit blown away.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I was thinking we'd get like 20, 25 people maybe in there and have a good conversation. And I remember whenever we started talking, that's about what we had.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is great.
About half the seats.
About half the seats filled. There's about 20 to 30 people in there. Cool. I'm happy with this. This is all I need to get a good show and go over. There's going to be some good Q&A at the end.
Right.
I'm happy. That's all I wanted. I look up, like 5 minutes in, the room is fucking packed. People standing there. I'm like, where are they? You people are late.
Yes, but we appreciate you being
We appreciate
there.
you showing up, but you guys are late.
Yes.
No, but
But yeah, so it was standing room only, which blew our minds, like he said.
yeah, it was, I think, about equally as packed as Leonard Pickles' talk, which boggled me.
Yeah.
I really didn't think, especially two schlubs like us who are coming at this from a home haunt perspective, which I think actually helps us with the scare tactics.
Right.
Because we have to make each room stupid tight.
Yeah.
We really have to nail this down. But anyway, so yeah, we did not expect that, and everyone seemed to love the talk. Several people have asked for the slide. I'll be sending those out tomorrow.
Right.
Mind is blown at how great that went.
Yeah.
You did excellent. Your first public speaking engagement ever. Give her a hand, everyone.
Well, thank you. Yes. Yeah, it went a lot better than I expected, and I was a lot more comfortable on stage than I expected.
And I knew you would be. I've seen you do singing and things like that before. I know how you work. You're fine. So yeah, it was a lot of... We really enjoyed giving the talk, and the feedback was excellent. Everyone seemed very happy with it. I don't know, I'm blown away by the response that we got to it. Thank you all for coming out to it. Thank you for coming out to any of the 3 things we did over HauNtcon. Thank you for being the reason we're so tired right now.
Yes. And the offer still stands if anyone is in the New Orleans area or visiting and wants to see in person what we do and didn't get a chance to, just reach out to us.
Yeah.
At Haunt Weekly at any of the platforms.
Facebook or Twitter or anywhere. Just reach out. We'll open our doors to you anytime.
Yeah.
Just especially, and there's, like, I know there's some people like Slidell and, North Shore, Southeast Louisiana in general area. Yeah. That mentioned wanting to come by. You guys are close enough to pop in any time of year. If you're in New Orleans for any reason, let us know. That offer, and since the haunt's done, you might be stepping around some stored boxes or something, but it'll still be there. I mean, it's not going away until October, so feel free to drop a line. Yeah. Okay. Since we missed all the morning classes, the only other class we got that day was the Women in Haunting panel. Mm-hmm. It was largely the same group as the one last year. Right. Alexis Hebert, Amy Holloman, Liz Irving, who's the moderator. The moderator. Alyssa Kleckner and Margie Kerr were the returning people, and Jennifer Lohman, I believe, was the new person. Yes, that was the new ad. This panel, last year, the panel really was, like, perfect in that they talked about some very heavy-hitting subjects. Mm-hmm. The questions were really good. They did the panel, everyone got to speak, and the panel ended exactly on time. Yes. It was about perfect. This one was definitely more of a sequel in that if you didn't see the first part, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was a continuation of it, so that you kind of needed to be at the first one to really get the full impact. Right. And what we realized, and they realized, is that they should really book more time for this panel. Yeah, I agree. Because it's well attended, and there was no time left for questions. There was no Q&A, and in fact, even without the Q&A, just going through the 3 questions for the panel, or 3 or 4 questions, which it was. They dropped one of the questions. Okay. Yeah, they had to drop one of the questions, and they were still, like, 10 minutes over. Right. And that's because they all have such good things to say. It's not a knock on anyone. No. They all have great things to say. Alexis talked about how working on a farm haunt, they didn't consider her when buying the carts, the gators for driving people around. Right. She talked about that. It was a really great story that got me thinking about ways that even well-intended people might be behaving in a sexist manner sometimes. Yes. And there was a lot of talk about diversity and making sure everyone's included, including, if you have a special medical need, like you wear glasses and not contacts, or you, there was a lady in the audience who told her story about having a lung issue, where her haunt moved her entire room for her, which was awesome. Yeah. And haunting can be and should be inclusive. And realistically, if you go through the history of haunting, we were one of the first safe spaces for all kinds of people that otherwise didn't have a family, Yeah, that were fringe. People that were on the fringes of society for various reasons, whether it was racial, sexuality, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're a haunter, you like scaring people. We're in this foxhole together. There comes the people we have to scare.
Right.
We're a team against them, trying to get them.
Yeah.
That breeds, that gives an overriding sense of camaraderie. And we can use that to make sure, and if we can make sure haunting is inclusive and keep that spirit alive,
right,
then no one need feel left out. And I think that was one of the really powerful messages of it. But yeah, they need to book more time for this, especially since they've added another person.
Yeah.
Everyone has great things to say and great things to add. It just needs more time. Obviously, the 1 hour panel is not the right format.
Right. And also, if you are a woman in haunting in the Dallas area, be sure to contact Liz Irving, and because they are looking for new people to bring in for next year's HauNtcon.
Yes. Absolutely. That's a great idea. But no, I mean, it was, like I said, the information was good, and it definitely you needed to go to the first one to get the full impact.
Right.
Because they covered those more basic things in the first one.
Yeah.
That was I think it was 3 questions, and it was just bam, bam, super important, super important, super important.
Right.
And this one, it was like, okay, now we're getting to some more of the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
And it's, once again, it's very important. But if you didn't see the first one, you're like, is this really the most important thing we've been talking about this pain? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be thinking that. I think this really does need a 2-hour format, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And for, basically, on Saturday night...
we went out with a group. We stayed out way late.
Way late.
We did the French Quarter.
Yep. Yeah, we did the French Quarter. That was the night with Ryan and his wife and...
Oh, and the costume ball.
Oh, God,
we started at the costume ball.
How did we forget the costume ball? My God, everything's such a blur trying to go over this, even with notes in front of us. Yes, that was the costume ball. I don't really have much to say about the costume ball.
It was fun.
It was fine. Oh, I will say one thing about the costume ball. I hated the way they gave out the bracelets.
Yeah.
That was fracking dumb.
Yeah.
Because basically what you had to do was you had to be at the trade show floor at a specific spot to get your wristband.
Yeah.
The problem with that is, and it was at 5:30. The problem is a lot of people needed to clock out early from the trade show floor to go get their costumes ready or go get some food or whatever.
Get food, get costumed, and all that stuff.
They had things to do. And also, they didn't do a particularly good job advertising or promoting this.
Right.
So a lot of people seemed clueless. We'd heard about it, luckily, but it was like, oh yeah, you got to go pick up your wristband at this place. I'm like, but it says on the back of my badge, that I have access.
Yeah.
And you go to South by Southwest, you go to other conferences like this. The badge is your life.
Right.
You swipe that, you tap that, you whatever that for everything.
Yeah.
And there's you got to pick up a second thing. And the bracelets were the cheap paper ones, like the hospital tag type things. And mine actually broke on accident on the way over. Luckily, it didn't impede anything.
Right.
But, that was not cool. I get that they were trying to encourage people to go stay on the trade show floor during the extended hours. Mm-hmm. But I also don't know if extended hours on the trade show floor before the costume ball makes sense.
Exactly. Extended hours possibly on Sunday would make more sense.
Yeah.
Especially considering some of the craziness that goes on with cleanup and get out of there.
Yeah, and there was we heard some stories about that.
Yeah.
And we're about 40 minutes in, so I don't know how much of that we're going to get to.
Yeah, we're not, because we weren't there for it.
Yeah, we would be it'd be hearsay to talk about it. But yeah, we did see some of the craziness firsthand, though.
Yeah. Okay.
But with all that, we made only one talk on Sunday. The Sunday was kind of a half day, realistically, so we only made one talk. I went to Scott Swenson's Horror Fiction and Haunted Attractions talk. This was a great, great talk. Mm-hmm. Scott Swenson, in terms of storytelling and haunting, is probably the guy. Mm-hmm. And the only problem for me was that we already do this. Yeah. We obsess over the storytelling stuff because it's free, and we like free things that can improve our haunt.
Right. We may have talked about this once or twice on the podcast.
And I think we have a few episodes about storytelling and haunting. We've been beating this drum ourselves. But it was really good and really affirming to hear him sort of support the things we're doing.
Yeah.
And he, basically, I'm pretty sure he would love absolutely all the stuff we're doing, the way he talked. So yeah, I thought that was a really good talk. I think more haunters needed to be there. But yeah, it covered a lot of old, familiar ground for me. Not that that's a bad thing.
Right. And while you were there, I went over to creating Haunter Associations with Tori Kuvon, and it was a good basic beginner talk about how to start an association in your area if there isn't one. Some ideas for getting your name out there, getting what you do out there, and some events that you can hold to include everyone.
And I thought that was an interesting topic to have at HauNtcon when I saw it, because there's all these haunter associations.
Right.
And no one ever stops and asks where the hell they come from.
Right, exactly.
So I thought that was a neat topic idea.
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to go to it is because with HauNtcon leaving the area, I'm going to miss the social element. Yeah. We've already talked about this once on this podcast, and I am interested in the idea of an association in this region.
We need one.
Yeah, because we don't have one.
And there's been some collaboration between like Mortuary, 13th Gate, and Rise, but we need more togetherness in our Southeast Louisiana haunting community. Right.
And, as with lots of things, whenever we say, hey, this needs to exist, but doesn't, sometimes we just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
I
agree.
So,
yeah, that was our last HauNtcon thing. We went out again Sunday night.
Yes.
This was not an official HauNtcon thing, though.
No.
We went out. We got to hang out with the great Kelly Rays, Jim Millsball.
Yeah, and Max.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Max
was brilliant.
Everything's a blur. I'm sorry, Max.
Yeah.
But no, it was a wonderful time. We're never taking anyone back to Antiques.
No, there were surprises there. So we'll just leave it there.
Triple X-rated surprises.
Yeah.
Leave it there. But no, we got to hang out, and I'm really happy we got Kelly her crawfish.
Yeah. Yeah, because like 11 o'clock at night,
on Sunday.
On Sunday, I'm opening up the crawfish app. Yes, it exists. And trying to find crawfish.
Don't judge New Orleans.
But we were successful. She was able to get it.
Maybe not the best crawfish in the city, but crawfish indeed.
Yeah.
Definitely, no doubt, she got the experience she wanted.
Right.
So that was fun, doing all that. And today, it's just been get-togethers and informal stuff with people that are still in town.
Right.
People are slowly trickling out. I think we have a small get-together planned for tomorrow.
Yes.
But it's winding down quite clearly, and that's fine. That's the way conferences are. I don't know. Articulating the thoughts on HauNtcon is always difficult because the social aspect of it, the people that attend it are just amazing.
Yes.
There's no way around that. There's not a single person that we've met that I don't like. At least,
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? There just isn't. I mean, yeah, okay, damn it, Troy. And sometimes I want to, punch Nate in the junk like everyone else does, but they're fun people to hang around, and we love them, and I would do the punching with love.
Yeah. No, but the trade show floor seemed a little bit sparse this year.
Yeah.
The HauNtcon layout side wasn't very good. Well, no, but they did have interesting vendors for us.
The vendors, I think, were... Well, it was kind of weird. There were some clearly HauNtcon vendors outside the HauNtcon walls.
Right, and I'm not sure how they got there.
I'm not sure if that was deliberate, accidental, or what, but there were, like, haunt shirts.
Right.
That's clearly a HauNtcon vendor, and they were like an aisle and a half away from the HauNtcon side.
Right, we almost didn't see them.
Yeah, we were like, oh god, haunt shirts isn't here.
Yeah.
We're starting to get confused.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, they were there, and we actually bought some shirts from them. It was nice.
Yeah.
I think.
I got the hat.
No, we got the hat from them. Yes, right. The shirts. Okay, yeah, that's right. God, it's hard to track where you bought stuff from. We bought a lot of stuff from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did get the hat from them. But yeah, but the trade show floor felt more sparse. I would say the biggest gripes I have One was the signage and direction was atrocious, especially that first day.
Yes, and nobody at the registration booth knew where the classes were. They were sending people upstairs.
Well, okay, like, we get to the registration booth, and you check in, and you checked in just as with your name and your ID.
Right, I was fine.
Yeah, and I did all the things HauNtcon said I should do. I downloaded the app, I put the barcode on my phone. If I do all this, it'll make check-in quicker. And then they're like, oh, you owe money.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I owe money? I'm a speaker. I'm supposed to get the full weekend pass.
How do you owe money and I don't?
Yeah.
Because I even registered after you.
Yeah. How do I owe money? And then there was just like 12 people at the registration booth on that day, and only one person that can handle overrides or handle any of these complicated problems, and they're the person doing new registrations. Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was nuts.
That was
we almost missed
planning.
our first classes because of that. And then we're like, okay, where are the classrooms? Because we're trying to haul ass into those first classes.
Right.
And they direct us upstairs, and it doesn't help that there was actually signage pointing up an escalator.
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, oh, they did it like they did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
It wasn't last year, but it was a few years ago they did that.
Yeah, I think it was the year before.
I'm like, oh, that's a bit of a pain in the ass, but whatever. At least the rooms will be soundproofed.
Yeah. Which was the nice element whenever it was separated.
But also, I understand you're separating too far. You want to encourage trade show floor. It makes much more sense to have it on the trade show floor.
It does.
Ultimately, it does. But, no, we go and we run into Craig, I think it was, who was trying to find it too.
Yes.
And we teamed up and we couldn't find it. And eventually we discovered that the drawing in the map is actually upside down from our perspective. And that the HauNtcon classrooms are at the back of the trade show floor, which actually puts them where they were last year.
Opposite side of the room.
But opposite side of the room, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the far right instead of the far left this time.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, yeah, same place, same general area behind the trade show floor is basically the main thing. And so we go there, and, we ended up being like 5-10 minutes late for that first class. Because of all that, we arrived 20 minutes early. If registration had gone smoothly, and if we knew where we were going, we would have probably been 10-15 minutes early for that class.
Right.
But it didn't. So that was frustrating. I'm also starting to wonder if the merger between Halloween Party Expo and HauNtcon is wise.
Yeah, we've always kind of looked sideways at it, but now it's hard really, sideways.
It's showing its warts more this year.
Yeah.
I know some of the vendors were saying that they keep getting questions about can you do wholesale, and no, these are cash and carry operations. They're targeting haunters. Right. They're doing Etsy-like stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're doing really, really good work, but it's obviously targeted at a very small, specific market. Right. And yet and also the pricing differential that is rumored between the two sides makes it so that I think a lot of the vendors on the Halloween Party Expo side want to get into the HauNtcon side to save some money. Right. Some very significant money. So that's another thing that seems to be going on. Like, I know one of the t-shirt vendors that was on the HauNtcon side had a booth on the Halloween Party Expo side. It was a tiny little, 6-foot booth on that side. Yeah. And it said, go see our real big booth at the HauNtcon side. Yeah. And there they had a giant 20-foot thing with all their shirts and all that. So yeah, I don't know, that marriage is feeling kind of strained right now. It's maybe feeling like not quite the synergy it started out as, Yeah. But yeah, the con itself is still a great conference. I'm happy for the people that'll be going to it in Dallas. Right. I do hope it goes well in Dallas. We will not be attending it. Right. And one of the things we've kind of been doing through HauNtcon is collecting suggestions on other haunted attraction related conventions we should go to. And it seems like, blah, 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 blah. MHC and Midsummer Scream. That's why I'm tripping over them. I almost said Midwest Scream.
Yeah, that would be all combobulated together.
So, yeah, my brain's wanting to, mush things together that don't go together. Yeah. But no, those two seem to be among the leaders. The Ohio convention, obviously, is definitely something we're interested in going to. Yeah. Though it looks like we may be making a trip to Ohio in October. That could be exciting. Right. There's a lot of great conventions out there. We do that conference reminder every freaking week, and we never make it to anything other than HauNTcon. We did Halloween and HauntFest and a few other things.
Yeah.
But, we make it to the ones we can afford to make it to based on time and money. So, yeah. All in all, I am happy for HauNTcon. I hope they do well in Dallas. I have absolutely wish them nothing but the best. But like I said, I've spoken at Dallas 5 times.
Yeah.
Been to Dallas a lot.
I grew up in the area.
And we've done HauNTcon a lot. And since we're going to have to pay for a plane ticket and a hotel and the extra days off,
right?
I kind of want to see something new. I want
exactly.
something new to me. So if Dallas is new to you, go. Please.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Dallas is worth the trip. I'm not trashing Dallas. I'm just saying there's a lot of this big bad country I ain't seen. I want to go see some of it. Right?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else about HauNTcon good or bad or otherwise. I think the education selection was really good.
Yeah.
I don't think there was one talk I went, what the hell are they doing there?
No.
No one had that. I mean, I will say it was a little weird having, like, those days where it was, like, one talk at, 10:45.
Mm-hmm.
Because that puts the break at lunch, and it makes it very natural for people to show up at lunch.
Right, exactly.
And miss that first class, or first 2 classes.
Yeah.
I don't really know a way around that, because you have to leave a break for lunch. But yeah, a lot of people, and we ended up, like I said, doing it ourselves on Saturday because of trying to practice our talk. It's very easy to fall into the trap of, okay, we'll just wait and go after we grab lunch.
Right.
And hit things then, and you spend less time at the con, see fewer classes, and all that. But yeah, I mean, it's in the books. It was a good conference. Like I said, I hope the move to Dallas serves them well, and that they continue to be successful.
Yeah.
Well, anything else to add about HauNTcon 2016? I know we have skipped over so goddamn much.
Yeah, and no, we have. But...
And if we remember anything, maybe we'll throw it in next week. Our brains are mush right now, and we're having to record this. Literally, we stepped out from a birthday get-together.
Yes.
For a couple of haunters. We stepped out from that to go record, and then we're going back to meet them at the after get-together.
Right.
So I've got to go edit this and get it online. So on that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. This has been Hauntin' Weekly, episode 216, doing the HauNTcon wrap-up. You can find more of our stuff at HauntCon.com. Oh, God, Jonathan. HauntWeekly.com. Hauntin' Weekly on Twitter. Hauntin' Weekly on Facebook. And you can find us at YouTube.com/HauntWeekly, which is our YouTube channel. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever finer podcasts are distributed. They have not kicked us out yet. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you guys next week.